This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz. Very excited to be speaking with Tommy Martinez about Laid. How are you, Tommy?
I'm so good. How about you, Abe?
Good, good. How did you get attached to the show? What was the first approach?
Um, the first approach was obviously the initial audition. And I was blown away by the pilot. I thought it was so dang funny. And knowing who was attached to it, I was obviously really excited. It was buzzing all around town. So yeah, I went into the first audition. Did there actually no, sorry. It was a self-tape. I did a self-tape, went out for one character, and then they got back to me immediately and they were like, we want you to actually go out for another character. Um, so we did that, and then it went into a producer session and then chemistry read with Stephanie, and then that was it. So it was kind of I think it was over the course of maybe like a month, but a really lovely experience. And meeting Stephanie at the chemistry read, it was super nice. Everything was just flowing very well. Notch was there, Jennifer, Sally, everyone were just like so lovely. So to be a part of something like this was incredible.
I assume it's also nice to play one of the few characters who gets to flirt with Ruby and not drop dead, at least until later in
Yeah.
the course of the season.
Yeah, of course. I didn't, when you're working on TV, you don't get all the episodes all at once. So I had no idea what was in store for Isaac or what his fate was ultimately. So just patiently waiting after we finished one episode and getting the next script in between. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I haven't finished the season, so I don't know what his fate is either. But I do suspect that you're like mostly in your own bubble, though, where you don't really get to interact with a lot of the rest of the cast. Does it feel like that?
Um, Yeah, I mean, in both the character and in like real life on set, Isaac is definitely the character who's much more in the light of things, while being completely oblivious to the morbid backstory in Ruby's chaotic world. But on set, we were actually together quite a bit for maybe like the first two or three episodes. I'd be with just Stephanie and the rest of our amazing crew. But yeah, once we got together, it was always a really good time. And we'd get together like after work and like go off on hikes and stuff. So yeah, it was all pretty lovely.
I would say that pre-existing relationship aside, Isaac is probably among the healthier choices romantically for Ruby, even if it's professionally and morally, given the impending death
Yeah.
sentence, not the right thing to do. What do you like about Isaac, and how do you think you're similar to him, if at all?
Yes, no, I think I'm very similar to him. I think Isaac is a very kind and earnest and grounded character. And I think he's also very intuitive as well. He can sense when something is wrong with Ruby. Um, but that only goes so far. He's still completely in the unknown to what's happening behind closed doors with Ruby's exes. But I think I'm very I yeah, I had a getting prepared for this role. It was just doing a lot of going back in time and thinking about my past relationships and how I've handled tough situations, whether I've been in the wrong or just kind of doing my best to navigate hardships in love and relationships. Um, so yeah, I think there were a lot of similarities between Isaac and I. So it wasn't like this deep character study that I had to do because I felt like I already had some of that from my own life that I was just infusing.
I think Stephanie is definitely the right choice to play Ruby, but I'm curious how much you think she is like Ruby, which isn't maybe a good thing in certain cases.
Oh, I mean, Stephanie is it's crazy seeing everybody work on set. Because Ruby definitely has this, like frantic energy to herself, especially whenever she's caught in a hard place. Um, Stephanie, she's also executive producing as well, so she had a lot of things going on And it was nice to finally find a moment where her and I can like really connect and take all the hats off and just kind of like get together as two human beings and just feel more comfortable with one another with the scenes that we have to do. But I don't know. I wouldn't say she's anything like Ruby. Uh, Stephanie is a very, very grounded, lovely, lovely human being. Yeah, no, yeah, I wouldn't say they're very similar at all, but she plays Ruby so dang well. And it was just such a joy to share the set and screen with her.
Did you recommend that audiences watch the show the way you got the scripts, one episode at a time, or better to binge the entire thing just in one sitting?
Oh man, binge it, binge it. Absolutely. They're all coming out. Why not? Why do it to yourself? I mean, I get it. I appreciate it when people or when like certain platforms will drop things, weekly, but there's just something about this, especially during the holidays, comes out the 19th, everything's gonna come out. Nobody's gonna be doing anything. They're just at home hanging out. Watch it all and just enjoy.
Well, I enjoyed watching you in an episode of another show, which I feel like not really like Laid, but Not Dead Yet had some similarities, especially in terms of its main character's romantic and certainly less deadly
Yeah.
pursuit of a partner. What was it like getting to appear in an episode of that show?
Oh, it was fun, man. I mean, this was towards the end of my run on my last show, Good Trouble. And that we shot that at the very beginning of the year, and it's right before we finished off the last 2 days of working on Good Trouble. Yeah, it was a fun time. So yeah, I could definitely see like some similarities with Isaac and his character on Not Dead Yet. Yeah.
What else are you working on right now? Hopefully late season two, though I don't know if the show's
Hopefully,
over
man,
after that.
fingers
I don't know.
crossed. I am just hanging back right now. I'm gonna enjoy the holidays, go off on a road trip with my girlfriend for a few weeks, and then um I got some news, some really big news, but I can't share, so that will be talked about another time.
Mhm. Well, this is award buzz, so I'm always curious about what the people I'm talking to, what they've watched. So once everyone's finished watching Laid when it comes out, what's the next thing they should watch during the holidays?
Ah, what should I plug? I've been on this like this little animation kick recently. There's two shows that I watched, Scavenger's Reign and Arcane. And both of those are super cool, great stories. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tommy. It's a pleasure to speak with you. I'm excited I'll keep an eye out for whatever that big news is and enjoy the holidays.
Hey, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.